Olá pessoal, aqui é o professor Fabiano Ferreira do Instituto Militar, trazendo para vocês a continuação da resolução da prova de inglês do Instituto Militar de Engenharia do ano de 2010. Temos a professora Jessica Marques que estará dando prosseguimento às questões que nós já temos resolvido até a de número 26, da 16 até a 26, e a partir de hoje nós vamos começar na 27. Jessica, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine. Let's start.
Okay, let's take a look at number 27. Zurich is the engine of the Swiss economy. Despite having all the conveniences and daily activities of a metropolis, Zurich has been able to preserve the charm of a small town. Yet every day, more than 300,000 commuters, visitors, tourists, and business travelers come to this small town through Zurich Central train station, and that number has been rising steadily. To meet the increasing demand, the Swiss Federal Railways, SBB, together with the canton of Zurich, is expanding the station. According to the passage, A, all engineers from Zurich are responsible for the Swiss economy. B, Zurich is a charming small town. C, it is convenient to visit the metropolitan Zurich during the day. D, Zurich is a busy city, however features of a small town still persist. Or E, Zurich Central Station is comfortable enough to receive more than 300,000 passengers. Looking at the text, we can see that letter D would be the correct answer because it affirms what we see in the second sentence of the text, that, despite having all the conveniences and daily activities of a metropolis, Zurich has been able to preserve the charm of a small town. If we look at letter A, you can almost be tricked by the first sentence of the text, which states, Zurich is the engine of the Swiss economy. Here they use engine as motor, or driving force, and not engineer. So letter B states that Zurich is a charming small town, where in the text we see that Zurich is a metropolis that has preserved the charm of a small town. Letter C states that it is convenient to visit the metropolitan Zurich during the day, something that is never stated in the text. And letter E states that Zurich Central Station is comfortable enough to receive more than 300,000 passengers. In the text we see that 300,000 passengers come to Zurich every day through the central station, and to meet that demand they're going to expand the station. So once again, the correct is letter D. Zurich is a busy city, however features of a small town still persist. Okay, let's go on to letter 28.
Okay.
Number 28. Okay. Glaciers at the equator. The legendary source of the River Nile. Mysterious snow-capped peaks shrouded in an impenetrable cloud. These may sound like the stuff of myths, but in this case, these descriptions aptly depict Uganda's Rwenzori Mountains, known for more than 2,000 years as the Mountains of the Moon. Located at Uganda's western border with the Democratic Republic of Congo, the Rwenzori Mountains rise as much as 5,109 meters, or 16,763 feet, above gorges at equatorial sea level to create an amazingly diverse environment that includes tropical rainforests, marshes and lakes, grasslands, glaciers, and snowfields. The flora and fauna that flourish there are as unique as the region itself. On gentler slopes, rare mountain gorillas may inhabit bamboo forests, while giant tree heathers up to 10 meters, 33 feet, tall sway on open ridgetops. It's no wonder much of the region is now designated World Heritage Site. Yet only the lucky visitors will actually see the 100-kilometer, 62-mile of mountain peaks, as a cloak of thick fog envelops the Rwenzori year-round. It was this fog cloud that kept the legendary peaks from being documented until the late 1800s by non-African explorers, and the summit wasn't reached until a year later. 28 says, the region described in the passage, A, was inherited by Uganda from Congo, B, is impenetrable, C, is characterized by lush environment, D, makes its visitors lucky, or E, is a mythological legend known as the Mountains of the Moon? The correct answer here would be letter C, because it is described in various parts of the text, such as the fifth sentence, which says, "The Rwenzori Mountains rise as much as 5,109 meters above gorges at equatorial sea level to create an amazingly diverse environment that includes tropical rainforests, marshes and lakes, grasslands, glaciers, and snowfields." Letter A states that the region was inherited from the Congo by Uganda, where the text states that it is located at Uganda's western border with the Democratic Republic of Congo. Letter B states that the region is impenetrable, whereas the text states that there are visitors in the area. As you can see, only the lucky visitors will actually see the 100 kilometers of mountain peaks, and also that non-African explorers documented the region in the late 1800s. Letter D states that the region makes visitors lucky, whereas the text states that only the lucky visitors will see it. So I want you to watch out for tricks like these that can cause you to interpret the text incorrectly. Letter E states that the region is a mythological legend known as the Mountains of the Moon. Although the text confirms that the mountains are in fact known as Mountains of the Moon, the error here is that the mountains actually do exist. As we can see in the fourth sentence, these may sound like the stuff of myths, but in this case, these descriptions accurately depict Uganda's Rwenzori Mountains, known for more than 2,000 years as the Mountains of the Moon. So once again, the correct answer is letter C. It is characterized by lush environment. Okay, let's take a look at number 29. According to the passage, Rwenzori's summits A. are inhabited by gorillas, B. haven't been reached yet, C. are unique because of the tropical rainforest, marshes and lakes, grasslands, glaciers and snowfields, D. can be sighted by all tourists, or E. are hidden by mist most of the time. Okay, the correct answer here would be letter E, because it indicates that Rwenzori's summits are hidden by mist most of the time. Something that we see once again in the 8th sentence of the text. Only the lucky visitors will actually see the 100 kilometers of mountain peaks as a cloak of thick fog envelops the Rwenzori year-round. Letter A states that the summits are inhabited by gorillas, where the text states, on gentler slopes, rare mountain gorillas may inhabit bamboo forests. May is a possibility and not an affirmation. Letter B states that the summits haven't been reached yet. This is very similar to letter B from the last question, and we can see by the text again that the summits have been reached and documented by non-African explorers in the late 1800s. Letter C states that the summits are unique because of the tropical rainforests, marshes and lakes, grasslands, glaciers, and snowfields. As we can see from the last question once again, these characteristics describe the region and not specifically the summits. Letter D states that the summits can be sighted by all tourists, whereas our answer already shows that they are in fact hidden by mist most of the time. So once again, the correct answer is letter E, are hidden by mist most of the time. Let's look at number 30. About the Rwenzori Mountains, it is correct to say that A. they were first exploited 2,000 years ago. B. they sway on open ridgetops. C. the plants that grow there are commonly found anywhere in the world. D. they are located at an earth hot zone. Or E. the vegetation is basically formed by bamboo. The correct answer here would be letter D, as the text states that they are located at Uganda's western border and rise above gorges at the equatorial sea level. Notice here that it states the equatorial region, and we know that the areas closest to the equator are the hotter ones, just like Brazil, which is right by the equator. Letter A states that the mountains were first exploited 2,000 years ago, where the text shows us that the mountains are known for more than 2,000 years. Letter B states that the mountains sway on open ridgetops, where in the text we see that the giant tree headers sway on the open ridgetops and not the mountains. Letter C states that the plants that grow in the mountains are commonly found anywhere in the world, whereas the text clearly states that the flora and fauna of the region are as unique as the region itself. Letter E states that the vegetation of the mountains is basically formed by bamboo. The text states that there are bamboo forests on generous slopes, but also reinforces the diversity of the flora. So once again, the correct answer would be letter D. They are located at an Earth hot zone.